Hey, what's up survivors? My name is Cap and welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another 7 Days to Die video. One of the things that was recently changed in Alpha 15 is that dirt, the soil ground here, doesn't take explosive damage the way that it used to. So things like landmines and things like that don't actually do any damage when they blow up. I'll show you right here. See, as you can see, it didn't actually do any damage to the dirt itself. Now, oil barrels will still put a decent sized little chunk in the ground, but they're quite a large explosion, so you can still use those for mining. But things like landmines no longer blow dirt up, and so that got me thinking and it's another theory that a couple people had is, what about the exploding cop zombies? How will they react to the dirt? Will they still cause some damage? So I decided I'd put it to the test. So what I did here was really simple. I just made a regular old cobblestone wall, like 2 wide and across the entire length of the road, and I think it's probably 3 or 4 blocks high. And then what I used is a bunch of dirt that I dug up and some plant fibers and made some sod blocks here so I can kind of dig these up, because you can no longer just use regular dirt to just stack as you could previously. You actually have to turn it into sod. So that's what I made it into for this wall, to test it out and see how an exploding cop zombie will do against it. So let's test it out. Alright, so I got a cop zombie here running around. I've shot him a few times. I'm trying to do enough damage and lure him in so he'll run towards me before he blows up. Now, before anybody mentions or whatever, I am playing with a little bit of creativity on here, because this is the purpose of testing this thing, and getting these guys to roam around and do what I want to and not die at the same time is a little bit of a challenge, because they spit everywhere. So if you wonder why I'm not taking damage, I'm also trying to strafe as much as possible. But once you've done enough damage to these guys, they will take off running and explode, which I'm trying to get him to do here. Maybe a little bit more. There he comes. Alright. Now show me what you got, big boy. Boom skis! Okay, so he has died now. So I'll hop down here and I'll take a look and see. Of course, he blew up the road and did quite a bit of damage, just like the oil barrels would. But if you notice, if I pull up my repair tool, he did a considerable amount of damage to the cobblestone wall. So if I was using this as my reinforcement, he may not have made his way all the way through, but he definitely put a chunk of damage into it. So now we're going to test it out on the other side. Okay, so the same thing applies on this side. I got the zombie cop coming towards me. I got a wall of sod here. I'm going to see if I can get him to get close enough and blow up, and see if it'll actually do any structural damage to the dirt, because we know that it did a big chunk of damage to the cobblestone. Okay, so same thing applies. I got the zombie cop over here. I'm trying to get him to blow up on the wall and stuff, so he'll come down here and see if he'll do any actual damage. Now, if he punches the dirt or if he pukes on it, he's still going to do the same kind of damage any other zombie would. But we're testing to see if his explosion can be blocked with just the dirt wall. So I'm going to try and get him to blow up here and see what kind of damage he'll do. Okay, now we got the heartbeat. Come over here and blow up for me. Alright, nice. Got him to blow up right where I wanted to. As you can see, he did a lot of damage to the ground underneath it, but all the places I had a sod wall set up over here, he didn't do anything to it at all. You can see just a little bit of damage that I'm doing when I'm hitting it, but that's it. So he blew up right next to the wall, put a big chunk of damage into the earth here, but it didn't do any damage to the actual wall itself. Now, as far as a practical application go, of course you don't want to do the entire outside of your house with a sod, because the first thing that walks up to it would take down your entire house. But it would be a good idea to have it maybe on the inside, like I have it here. Have your reinforced wall on this side, and then maybe have a dirt sod wall on the inside of your house all the way around, or your base or fort or whatever you call it. That way, during the night hordes, when they start showing up and things start breaking through here, if they come through and explode, their damage they do isn't going to block, or isn't going to do any damage to the interior wall and keep them from being able to get all the way in. So anyway, it's just a thought, an idea I had I want to test out, and it seems like it actually works out. So, hopefully this is useful to you guys as far as a building standpoint goes. If you have any questions, do drop them in the comment section below, and I'll happily answer them. And if you found this video useful, do me a favor and hit that thumbs up button, because I appreciate it. Thank you guys so much for your time. You guys have a wonderful day, and I'll talk to you later.